GlobalX interviews social entrepreneurs who tackle some of the world's biggest problems. They are pioneers of innovation that benefit humanity.
I'm Vincent Perlas. I work for the Lifebank Foundation. Actually, I'm a board member of the foundation and also the head of microfinance as senior vice president. And concurrently, I am also the chairman of the board and the president of Lifebank. It's a rural bank, and both the rural bank and the foundation is located in the Visayas group of islands of the Philippines. So we work mostly in rural areas, and all those just recently we've entered other parts of the Philippines, in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So we're practically now moving nationwide, doing our microfinance operation, lending access to credit, dealing with marginalized women, and mostly giving them the opportunity to start their own employment, being self-employed, become a productive member of society. There was this particular woman, I remember very well, because she had a physical disability. There was something wrong with her speech, so she could not express herself well, and although she had that spirit to do something to improve her family. So I talked to her, and we gave her a first loan. It was 4,000 pesos, approximately around $80. And she started a small convenience store. It's like a neighborhood variety store, which she passionately continued to grow. And later on, she moved to increase her business to include hog racing. And in that hog racing, she was able to now raise 3 sows and an average of probably like 2 to 3 dozen piglets for fattening at one given time. And I guess that was not enough for her, so she moved on to buy transportation equipment, vehicle. We call it tricycle. It's like a motorbike with a sidecar attached to it. And she has 3 or 4 of these now. She rents it out to drivers who make a living themselves. And eventually moved on to another business, selling ready-to-wear items, garments. Actually, she's grown quite a lot since the last time I saw her. And a year ago, I went back to visit her, and she now has this huge house, and cemented, tin roof, with the essential appliances like a television, DVD, and she has sent all her children to school. And in fact, she even convinced her husband to stop his employment and help out in the business that was really growing. The first was actually, I would think that we had a very unified board and having the will to move forward. We had a lot of challenges before, and many times we wanted to stop this kind of work. It's harder than the usual work that you do. But we moved on, and we decided, when you're in hell, you go on. So we had that will, we had that spirit to move forward. And eventually I got to be fortunate to be introduced to an institution that was actually taken by the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program in the Philippines, as their international technical service provider. and this was Asia Bangladesh. They have now reached out to more than 7 million people, and they taught us this approach. We modified for our own context, and we started with only 200 member clients from an old experimental model of microfinancing. And in the last 6 years, with the methodology, the proper approach, simplified, cost-effective, standardized model, early sustainability, and viability, we were able to move forward. And another good decision that we did was partnering with Unitus, because it opened a lot of doors for us. One constraint of large growth would be the funding source. And this, to me, was a very important breakthrough, in the sense that Unitus mobilized capital markets, introduced them to us, and eventually got us internationally rated by the Planet rating of CGAP. And there were a lot of interest from funders that moved in and eventually gave us the funding to do this kind of work. So a will with that spirit to move on, a methodology to do it, and the proper gasoline or the proper funding to scale up and expand nonstop. To face the challenges, and because there will be a light at the end of the tunnel, you have to have the right people to be with you. Choose the right people, your lieutenants, to move the program forward. And of course, you have to meet a lot of people who can help you in terms of resources, funding, technical advice, and all these things. Take it as it comes. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I became quite dissatisfied with the way medical practice was going, and sometimes I kind of felt guilty extracting money from the sick. Anyway, so I felt I could do something. Actually, a different form, but with the same substance. Going into using the power of finance to move lives of people, to help them, to be of service to them. And this, I think, was my main motivation from going into microfinance. I could have gone into traditional banking or conventional banking, but I decided to gear my operations towards helping those who really need help. And up to now, it has motivated me more and more so when I visit the clients in the field, when I go to my field visits from time to time, and they are testimonies of what we have done. You can listen to their stories, how it changed their lives, and I'm beginning to really see the power of what we're doing. And now it has, as I said, moved on to another dimension that is really a work that is beyond me now, and this is what keeps me moving.
Global X is also on Social Edge at socialEdge.org.